Well, hello, folks, all viewers out there. Glad to see you back here on our show again. Gosh, please, I still need this. We'd like to welcome all
go ahead.
Viewers, new and old. And anyways, if you like our show.
But what is the show? We didn't say it.
Yeah.
We didn't introduce ourselves. Are we going to do that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
we were already jabbering before we started.
Yeah.
So I got the boy mixed up.
We're still getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is.
I'm Mark.
I'm Elmer.
And we are Mark and Elmer's PSI. Piano Scene Investigation. And here's our boys here as well. This is Eager and what's his name? I forget. He's not very talkative anymore. Grogu and Tookie. Say hi, guys.
Oh, wonderful. You're all happy today. Wonderful. Okay, well, folks, as you know the MO here. If you like our show, you enjoy our company and our jibber jabber, please go down below, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are born today, you share the same birthday as William Barclay Squire of 1855. He is a British musicologist. And that was the only birthday I was able to find for today. And today is Thursday, October 16th. Which brings us, boy, this happened so quickly. You looking something up?
Yeah, for some of my information.
Oh.
But you go ahead and start talking to me.
All right.
I just wanted to catch a couple dates and things.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see. I had been tossing a couple ideas about what kind of theme I should use for this one. All right. I'll let you choose. We could do a Star Trek theme or a Batman and Robin.
Mr. Batman and Robin, that's more kitschy.
You want Batman and Robin? Okay.
Oh, here we go. Climbing up the side.
Holy keyhole, Batman! What do you make of that? He says, why, Robin, it's a piano. It says, and appears to be in very good shape, but, he says, yeah, I know. He says, lots of fingerprints on it. I bet we could find our culprits in this episode. We try to figure out all those fingerprints. He says, oh, I don't think so. He says, I believe, Robin, that those are probably fingers from a household full of kids who like to play on the piano quite a bit. He says, well, holy keepers, Batman, what can we do about it? He says, not to worry, Robin. I brought this. Let's see how well it works. I've used it in the past before. I don't know. You could do instead of the pow, wham, oof thing.
Yeah,
try to see if you could find.
Good for that. Oh, yeah, it is.
There we go. What do you think about that, Robin? He says, holy lightning, Batman. That looks great. I can see myself. So, folks, If you're ever in need for wiping off those fingerprints and smudges on your piano, use Corey Piano Polish.
Wow.
That's the best I can do.
There you go.
Oh,
I hope you start making money on that stuff.
oh, don't we wish. And in case you have one of the antique pianos, lemon oil. There it is, lemon oil. I didn't know about lemon oil till I spoke to, Dr. Marc spoke about it. There it is. Okay, so we had some interesting stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. You sending me links to the scientific breakthroughs
Oh, yeah.
about scientists have figured out how to find the touch and the nuances of being able to change coloristic timbres on the piano keys.
Our response. Well, actually, what the first article was about, they actually proved somehow. I read some of it, but actually some of it pretty long here. But
Yeah.
it's just a Homer moment. Like what they're saying is that several pianists could play the same piano and get an entirely different sound because of their touch.
Yeah.
And isn't that what we talk about every
Just about.
I mean, when you talk about some of our favorite pianists or some that we don't care for.
Yeah.
But now there's some way that they scientifically have discovered. They've discovered. So that must mean it's true.
Yeah.
That everything that we were talking about before was like legend or I don't know, some ooky weird touchy-feely stuff,
Yeah.
No, come on. That's one of the fine arts of piano teaching.
Yeah.
Especially at the higher level.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't help but notice in reading the articles that they didn't consider how the pianist uses the pedals.
Yeah.
You see, that could often change the timbres as well.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, if any of you have been going on YouTube or any other social media, you'll know that Warsaw is taking place the 19th World Chopin Piano Competition. And this year, it's a big one. From what I'm told, they had 85 contestants.
Yeah, there's 80. I think it was 80. Or 80.
It was 80?
Might be right.
I thought it was 85.
Could have been.
But anyways, yeah, they're up to the third round
Can you
now.
imagine that they let 85? Does a big club let that many people?
No, they had like 30.
Yeah, they reduced it.
Yeah,
right?
but that's why it's taking
But
so
they
long to
started
get
with
through them all.
85 people.
Yeah,
That's a lot of listening.
that is a lot of listening.
Now, how long was the first round? Was it 40 minutes or something like that?
I
What a
believe,
full hour was it?
no, it was not a full hour. I think it was just a little over half an hour.
Yeah,
It was just a little half. And
But
there was repertoire requirements.
but still.
You had to pick ballade. You had to pick
Yeah.
nocturnes.
Well, they're
was a whole
moving through
list.
his repertoire as they go through the stages.
Yeah.
That's all. But that's at least 40 hours of listening.
Oh, at least. That's a lot of listening.
That's a week's full-time work. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
listening to recitals 8 hours a day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Taking a few breaks here and there. I would imagine you'd have to.
Can you really stay on point constantly like that?
Boy, that's a tough one.
Or did somebody just kind of fall through the cracks? Oh, yeah, bravo, okay. I don't know who the hell that was. It just
Well, I noticed it happened in the audiences.
yeah,
Yeah, the audience.
they're passing out.
Yeah, some of them were passing out. So
So you've been watching it.
I've been watching some of it. I'm not even, tell you the truth, I'm not even through the first round yet.
Oh, you're serious?
So yeah, I was watching the first round, and I mean, there was nothing. From what I've seen, there's nothing really dramatic as what we saw in the Van Cliburn competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was apparently one or two that were in the Van Cliburn competition.
Oh yeah, they were.
Are they still? Did they make it?
No.
Neither one of them made it.
Neither one of them made it. I won't mention names.
Wow.
I won't mention names. But yeah, neither one of them got to the first round.
Huh.
But we have one. So far, I think we have one American that made it to the third round. One.
So he's an Oriental fella, but
oh yeah,
but he's from the United States.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So we started out with 4 in the first round. Eventually, 2 made it to the next round,
Mhm.
and now there's only 1.
And at the beginning, and relatively still, isn't it something like 50% of the pianists are Oriental, Asian?
Asian,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, that was a lot. I guess the largest representation came from China.
Yeah, of course.
They had 19.
But interestingly, I sent you a couple that somebody was writing blogs about it.
Oh yeah,
They're doing almost every day.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's happening
He
everywhere.
mentioned 2 or 3 Japanese pianists
Uh-huh.
that he was quite taken with.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he mentioned the one about the lady that cried at her
Yeah,
raindrop performance.
yeah. Well,
But,
I have opinions about that. So, but I'll remark it at a much later time.
really?
Oh yeah, I'll make remarks.
Oh, okay.
So, because I've seen that happen all too.
Can I say something?
Okay, well,
Not
okay.
about that per se,
All right.
but I was in competitions when
Yeah.
I was younger. And actually, I did reasonably well.
Yeah.
Like at the Vice Chancellor's graduate student competition
Yeah.
at the University of Colorado at Boulder, I was a finalist every
Mhm.
3 years that I was there in the doctoral program. And in many cases, the only pianist that made it. A lot of the times, they had excellent voice teaching at Boulder.
Uh-huh.
Barbara Dosher was this
Yeah.
grand dame of stuff, and they had people that won med auditions and things like that. Really great singers. It was nice because I got to work with them, because I
Yeah.
did company and stuff. But yeah, I got chosen every year, and it was nice to be chosen. I never won,
Yeah.
because I think 2 of the 3 years singers won it, and then very interestingly, one of the years, a graduate student Japanese woman. Had a very rubbery kind of technique,
Mhm.
but she's a really joyful and wonderful pianist. She did a good job. She deserved to win it. She did a good job. But my point was, let's put it this way: I grew up, maybe one might say, not quite at the tail end, but nearer the tail end of the old school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I still got them hanging in there. Got my tails.
Uh-huh.
White tie. I also have a tux, which I could wear an ascot with, or a regular bow tie kind of thing.
You flash your picture.
Oh, I could do that, I suppose. I got some. Oh, there's one. But that was concert dress for a guy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
The thing that I always, a number of us guys had issues with. You know what I'm going to say?
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Because the guys, this back in the day. Now I
Yes.
think like maybe beginning with Ivo Pogorelich, who wore that
Yeah.
that string tie with the
Yeah.
white blousey shirt and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And when you saw the Chopin now, is it pretty? The Polish are more
Yeah.
conservative.
Oh yeah.
Is it traditional dress? They're mostly doing it
Not all of
for the
them.
guys.
Not all of them.
Really?
Believe it or
Okay.
not.
So
Believe
it is
yeah.
changing.
It is changing.
Apparently, it's changing. I mean, now for some time, Bruno Walter used to wear these kind of shirts.
Yeah.
Like this. He didn't wear a
Yeah.
tie, but he wore this kind of, I think they call it a Chinese shirt.
Yeah.
Collar. But it's become much more common, like Christoph Eschenbach,
Mm-hmm.
when he's conducting Cleveland, he was a bald dude.
Yeah.
And not a smallish man, but he always had this kind of shirt on. That kind of thing's become more common. Andres Nelson's
Yeah.
of the Boston Symphony, I think he wears that kind of costume. But anyway, I won't go into it too long, too much, but you get the point. We always thought, as guys going on to compete,
Yeah.
we look like penguins. One penguin
Yeah.
after the next.
Yeah.
Right?
We sure did.
Maybe there's a prettier face than another. Maybe, chunkier or not.
Yeah.
But penguins, right?
Yeah. Basically.
And the ladies,
Yeah.
most of the time, not conservative dress.
Yes.
Glittery as gold,
Yeah.
I mean, shiny,
Yeah.
sequined. And the thing that really got us back in the day was the cutaway side
Yeah.
on the dress.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, it went all the way up to her,
Yeah.
near her,
Yeah.
where you could see her underwear. I mean, it was
Oh,
a
boy.
serious slash. And then sometimes, let's use a polite word, décolletage. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
So sometimes,
We're both.
sometimes it was relatively modest, and other times didn't leave a lot to the imagination.
No.
And now we might get some responses from this if we're lucky.
Oh.
We just always thought, what are they being judged for?
Yeah.
Or on?
Yeah.
You know? Because we was wearing black and white,
Yeah.
you know, with our little penguin tails, you know, playing our music and stuff. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? If anybody has any comments, you can comment too. But
Okay.
it's just, you know, because I did think it was interesting that, I don't know if they still do this, but in some orchestra auditions,
Yeah.
I think Berlin had done this. I don't know if they're still doing it,
Okay.
but there was a period of time, I suppose with kind of the sexual age awakening period,
Yeah.
especially when women, you know, are getting more chance to do stuff, and also non-white people, so blacks and Asians. They would put a screen up on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and the adjudicators would be out there in the audience, and they could not see who was playing. They didn't know it was male or female, Asian, black,
Yeah.
white, whatever. And they were just simply trying to find the best musician. I don't know if they still do that, or there are organizations that still find people that way. But that seems fair. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're playing a violin and you just knock it out of the ballpark, well, you got stuff hanging up here or stuff hanging down there. It
Yeah.
really doesn't matter. It's what happens here, right?
Mm-hmm. It should.
Maybe it's a little different with soloists and all that, but I remember some. Do you remember Andre Michel Chou?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember the Faces?
I do.
There's a famous pianist. This goes back into the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And he was already professionally active, wasn't he? And then went to the Van Cliburn.
Yep.
And he won, didn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
He won the Van
He
Cliburn.
won.
But that man was painful to watch. Because sometimes when the cameras look from the back end of the TV at him,
Yeah.
that guy looked like he was giving birth.
Yeah.
When he would just screw up his face and do all kinds of stuff. Ellsworth would have hated all of it, because he was very much about old school.
Yeah.
Shoulders relaxed, you just play and let the music speak for itself.
Yes. Earl Wild had something to say about that competition.
Did he?
Yes, yeah. he says he was a judge at that competition, and he placed his votes for two other pianists for the possibility of taking the first place spot.
Yeah.
And one of them was not Andre Michel Chou.
Yeah.
He did say Harold C. Schoenberg was also on the judging staff, and apparently he had his favorite, which was Andre Michel Chou.
Really?
He's from New York, and so he started writing articles for the New York Times and saying
During the competition?
during the competition. And
Oh, that's
saying,
so not right.
yeah, it was very not right. And so he was basically marketing the guy during the competition, from what I'm told. So, well, not what I'm told, but what I read.
He was kind of
So-
popular. Well, go ahead and finish.
But anyways, it was the competition I think it was, I don't know if it's ever happened before, but they had two second place winners. One of them being pianist Lyris, and the other one, Santiago Rodriguez.
Ooh, I remember him.
Yeah,
I heard him play a few times.
yeah.
Rodriguez. He had a bit of a career.
Oh yeah, he still has a very good career.
And he's a professor somewhere.
Yeah, down in Texas.
Yeah.
He's down in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard him play the Rachmaninoff second.
Second, yeah. Yeah.
And I don't remember what the other one, probably Tchaikovsky, I think.
It probably was. I don't remember what he competed with.
Schub actually had a career back in those days, but did he last? I mean,
Did he what?
Did he last? I haven't heard about him for ages.
Not long. I'll tell you what. Kathy and I went down to visit her brother in Pittsburgh, and we did get to go to a recital there, a piano recital, and it was given by Stephen Huff.
No way.
Stephen,
Good
it
for
was
you.
beautiful. By the way, Stephen, if you're out there, it was a beautiful recital, first class all the way. But I couldn't help but notice some of the other recitals that had taken place there. One of those recitals was Andre Michel Schub.
Really?
Yeah, one of them was Andre Michel Schub, and his program. Well, there were pieces I already heard him play at the competition, the band climb. He did the C major opus number 3, the C major.
Oh, the Beethoven?
Yeah, the early C major.
Opus 5, number 3.
Dum, da, 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 dum,
Yeah.
dum, that one, and he did the...
Oh, not Opus 5, Opus 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The 5s are the first 2 cellos.
Yeah. But anyways, he also did the Paganini Etudes on that program. I don't remember what else he did.
Brahms or Liszt?
It was the Paganini Etudes by Liszt.
Uh-huh.
So all 6.
Oh, Brahms didn't do. Yes, he did.
He did Variations.
Variations.
2 books.
Right. Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah, it was. I mean, and that was the last I heard, or even seen evidence that he was still touring and performing.
I don't have any of his recordings. Never saw any to buy, and I'm not sure I would. But
Yeah, but fast forward, I think I had a cassette tape of his playing somewhere. I'd have to go dig. But years later, I did find in, I think it was RCA or Teldec. See, it's a little bit fuzzy there, but I was over at Half Price Bookstore, and I did find the recording of him accompanying a flautist. So, I looked at it briefly and just put it back. There was nothing on there I was interested in, and that was the last I've actually heard the
Did
name.
you actually share with us what Orwell said, or was he just talking about the ranking of people? He didn't pass any personal opinions.
No, he didn't pass any personal opinion. All he said what happened was the thing about Harold C. Schoenberg already writing articles for New York Times about Andre Michel Schub being in the forefront.
And is this still possible? I mean, the Van Cliburn, you can already be an actor professional making money and join the competition.
Yeah,
you can still.
Well, those guys. Yeah, some of them already make recordings already.
And this is true of other world competitions.
Oh yeah, they have a career. They already have a career.
There used to be the thought that in the old days, I remember. Well, Rubinstein was making money when he went to the Rubinstein competition.
Yeah. He had a career already.
It's not like the Olympics, because the Olympics you're not allowed to compete. Or did they change the rules?
Olympics.
It used to be the Olympics professional athletes could not compete.
But they can get reinstated as an amateur.
Oh.
See? I've seen that happen. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh. They decide to have a professional career in their active sport, but they can be reinstated to compete in the Olympics.
Okay. My mind went somewhere with that, but I won't say anything. Maybe after the show.
Maybe after the show. You might find it in the special segment number 2.
No. This would not make it on the YouTube.
It would make it on. Okay. I'll say nothing about it further then. But no, that was what Earl Wild said. He said after that, he never came back to the Van Cliburn.
Do you remember what year that was? It was the late 70s, wasn't it?
It was late 70s. I would venture to say it was somewhere 78, 79.
Yeah, because I went to Wittenberg in 1980.
Yeah.
And then was living on campus and didn't have TV and didn't watch it really much during that time or those years. Because basically when I went into college and then university and so forth, I dropped off the contemporary entertainment and media scene for a long time. Because I didn't have time. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to practice.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to practice, right? Mm-hmm. Or, God, at Wittenberg, the homework.
Oh, yeah.
Music homework and night theory and stuff like that. Holy crap. Which I'm grateful for now.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to some people about it recently that had a really classic dramatic training and all that stuff. But man, it put in hours.
You put in a lot of hours.
The last one that I remember at the Van Cliburn, I didn't see it, but I was kind of still in tune with it. because it's every 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's
every
probably
4 years.
82, and it's that young and short little Russian dude that won.
Valery Kuleshov?
No.
Alexei Sultanov?
Sultanov.
Sultanov? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He
Tragic.
didn't
Oh, yeah, he did.
But
Yeah,
he
did.
was
he wasn't even 40 yet.
sadly, he was, let's put it this way. He was young. Was it like 18 or something? Or 19?
Oh, yeah. He was about...
He was, so Yunchun Lim is the youngest of everyone, right? So
Yeah.
that means Sultanov was maybe a year older. But that was still like astonishingly young back then.
Oh, yeah. It was very astonishing.
And the boy could really play.
Oh.
Wow. He played
Yeah.
the second, right? But he had this massive tone.
Oh, God.
Big
yeah.
sound.
I mean, I would
Pretty
compare
nice.
him to like an opera singer. Is what I would compare him to.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the big
Yeah.
sound, and it wasn't just big,
Yeah.
but the overwhelming flow of how it,
Yeah.
like a singer. Basically, I
Yeah.
can't describe it any other, but just like a singer.
Wow.
His Mozart sounded like a Mozart opera.
There was heart. And
Oh, yeah.
I think that's really what's behind it. Is
Yeah.
Because a really great singer, the voice is important.
Yeah.
And musicianship is important, but ultimately I think sometimes, I think about things like that wonderful scene of Van Cliburn playing for a Russian audience. This is after he won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's probably traveling to Russia, but there's that one black and white film.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing the
Rachmaninoff?
the Wittmong of Schumann.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Before this audience, and you can see the breath coming out of their mouths at the theater. It was freezing cold. They all got their furs and everything on, and I think it was the Wittmong. And there's just tears just coming down people's eyes all around the audience. They're just so
There you go.
moved, and that's a rare thing, that you get an artist who is so connected, a classical artist. You
Yeah.
expect it more from some of the great popular performers, that they just feel those words, You just really get it sometimes when they do stuff. And Sultanov had that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought sometimes when I heard him play, he played a little bit like that one pianist I don't care for so
Yeah.
much. Because he could get that kind of Russian steely sound sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I think is just him pushing the acoustic boundaries.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just his youthful passion.
Oh, it
as
could
well,
be.
But he's a little guy.
He is a little guy.
He is a little guy.
Yeah, he was.
I think he was maybe 5.5 feet tall.
Something like that.
Like Mr. Wagner here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever read that he had I think he was a 2nd or 3rd degree black belt?
I did. Yeah, I remember that. They talked about that too. That was a kind of an interesting and exciting moment for the guy, but then he was dead 20 years later, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
early this century, right?
Oh, yeah.
What, was it cancer?
No, what it was, well, he slipped and fell in a shower.
Oh my
He slipped and fell in the shower, hit his head, and he was knocked out cold. They took him to the hospital, and when he finally came conscious, his talking was just gibberish.
Oh no!
And so he couldn't speak. He couldn't, and he had almost no control over the rest of his body.
Oh my God!
It was just bad, and it was just a few days later that he passed away after that.
Thank God for him.
So
I think surviving would have been terrible for
Yeah.
somebody like that.
yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. The story I heard, and I would not have heard this story if it wasn't for our beloved America's Paul Harvey.
Oh,
He talked about how a young man and his girlfriend at the time were trying to sneak in to see the Horowitz concert in Moscow.
Yep.
And so this young man, and Paul Harvey eventually mentions the name Alexei Sultanov.
Oh, it was him?
Yeah, it was. It was Alexei Sultanov, and
Good for him.
later on he says, who would know that this young man would eventually win the gold medal at the Van Cliburn competition? But they were sneaking in to go see the Horowitz concert.
That was a
in Moscow.
famous story.
Yeah.
Horowitz decided to go back to Russia
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was the 80s.
It's available. We got the recording. I have it, plus I think it's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It is an amazing performance. Plus, then there's that other video that Martha Argerich and two other piano ladies did together, where they watched the Horowitz concert and were just astonished at what he was doing pianistically. Even Argerich just said, "That's beyond genius," and it really is incredible because the Mozart or whatever he does, I don't like the idea of perfection in art.
Yeah.
I mean, we strive for that, right? And some people really think it should be that way. I love the Japanese idea that, or the Arabs as well. The Arabs always intentionally weave a mistake into their carpets.
Yeah.
Because only God can make things perfect.
Okay.
And the Japanese have this concept of wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is also a similar idea that only the gods can create perfection. Where humans are involved, there has to be some aspect of imperfection, you know, a fragility about us that can't quite make it yet. And you remember my playing in the past. I was all blood and guts and bravura and stuff. And if I left a few dead notes on the floor and stuff,
it was great.
It's like, who cares, you know? And I would say I still try in my best moments to play in such a way that I can communicate or bring something across as strongly as possible. Yeah. And you make a little mistake here. Well, I'm a human being, right?
Yeah.
But Horowitz is playing in a rather astonishing and honestly, because when he was younger and stuff, he took big risks and things.
Oh yeah.
And there was some little, once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while, but not many.
Not many.
In his younger years.
But in his playing in that concert, it's some of the most perfectly executed, perfectly molded and shaped. The lines are like perfect. It's truly like Michelangelo's sculptures, just faultless and perfect and extraordinary. But that story went along because you know how Russia and all this and that, and this is 8 years at least before the wall fell. Yeah. So it's still apparatchik crap and all that Soviet stuff. So the audience was full of privileged people. Oh yeah. Interestingly, in a classless society.
Yes, exactly. Supposedly.
But the students at the conservatory in Moscow revolted outside in the hallways, and they overwhelmed the guards. Yep. And now they didn't come down on the floor, most of them, but they were up in the balcony. Yeah. And so that's when you see the cameras panning around, American cameras that were filming it. Horowitz was a smart guy. He always took the media with him. Yeah. They're just like sitting on top of each other. Yeah. And just glued to the stage, watching. But those students, damn it, they were going to listen to Leonard. Oh, yeah. They were not going to miss that concert.
Yeah. And particularly Alexei Sultanov.
That's a really good
story. What happens is he and his girlfriend are climbing on top of buildings and trying to make it across. They made bridges to go from one building to the next. And when they finally make it to the Moscow Conservatory, the roof was at a slant. He almost lost his girlfriend that night. She almost slid off the roof, and he just caught her with his hand as she was dangling. As she was dangling, and he pulled her up. Wow.
That's passion. I mean, I remember one time I read Boris Pasternak, who wrote this story for the great Russian movie with the great Russian movie from 1960 or so with
Dr. Zhivago?
Dr. Zhivago, yeah. Dr. Zhivago. Okay. Boris Pasternak was a poet. He had some issues like a lot of them did with the state and stuff, but I remember reading this one time that he was, of course, very famous. Yeah. Very famous in Russia. It was announced relatively short notice, as things often were, that he would read his poetry. Well, the people that started to say, I want to come and listen to it, became so overwhelming for the space he was going to do it in some auditorium or something. They moved him into a soccer stadium with the microphone stuff. I could read his poetry. Stadium filled up.
I'm sure it did.
Something like 80,000 people. Can you imagine 80,000 Americans getting together to go to a football stadium and listen to a writer read his poetry or his...
Oh, God. When was this?
Back in the late 50s or around 60s or
okay.
something like that.
Yeah, I could believe that.
80,000
I could
people
believe
showing
that.
up to listen to poetry.
Yeah, I don't know if it would happen today, but
Maybe not
back
today,
then.
but yeah, the deprivation, and how much people wanted art and wanted soulful, spiritual things. I think I got you way off about your Chopin competition.
Chopin Cup?
We were talking about that.
Yeah, we were, but the conversation kind of flowed pretty well.
Okay.
So, but we'll talk about the results. But there's many. I mean, there's many vlogs on YouTube.
There's still
Concerning the
one
review.
or two polls in the running.
Oh yeah, and one of them looks particularly pretty good.
Yeah.
He looks, yeah. I mean, he. All right, if I had to picture somebody who was particularly male, who would be very Chopinesque looking when he played. I can't remember his name, but he's got sort of a light brown hair, and it's very well combed. He must have sprayed it or used mousse or something, but it's got this sort of old-fashioned wave in the front, sort of Elvis Presley-like caricature.
Really good for him.
So, and he has the long tapered fingers, and the way he plays is almost like this when he does it. I mean, it's very Chopinesque looking. Now, what are the judges going to say about his playing? Don't know. I mean, now, the one thing I did notice, all right, even though I liked his playing, I liked the overall organization of how he executed the pieces. What was that word you used concerning the imperfection? Wasab? Something?
Wabi-sabi.
Wabi-sabi. Well, maybe just a little too wabi-sabi on this particular person, this individual. I mean, I'll be curious to see how far he... like I said, I'm still just getting through the first round. But I will have to say, one of the worst places to have a wabi-sabi is at the end of the Chopin Ballade G minor, when you do the scales and you go clink. It's probably the most exposed spot to have wabi-sabi.
I had a moment like that one time when I performed this. I think it's embedded in the music.
Now, bless this individual.
They're thirds, right?
Yeah, well, the first one's in octaves, the second one is in tenths, and then yada da 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 da.
Right.
G.
Right.
So, but anyways,
tenths.
yeah, but he had. I mean, there were much likable moments about his playing, rather than the two or three wabi-sabis that he committed in his first round performance. Now, I tell you, and he didn't look like a penguin either. All he had was slacks, nice dark pants, and a shirt. That was it. A collared shirt, top button, unopened, that way. And so he looked good. Whatever he was doing, as far as
So you've been listening to him.
I did listen to him.
So I've been reading. I don't like to watch competitions. I think I get too nervous, and then sometimes, especially at the early part of the competition, it's like I can listen for a few minutes and next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a snob, but
you
get to a certain level and you're looking for certain kinds of things. I think.
Yeah.
I would be. Maybe it's what they would choose me to judge, but I would be looking for qualities, right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Perfection, Busoni dropped. Arthur Rubinstein used to say I could have built a whole second career lifetime based on the wrong notes that I played. But I've been reading that I do know that this is for the Gramophone magazine in England.
Yeah.
Right? It's a great magazine. I think I have a digital subscription to it. I have to look. But that's a problem without the real one. I never remember to look at it.
Look at it, yeah.
But this guy's been doing a blog every day because, you know, they're playing every day, you know, practically. And one of the things he said was about one of the pianists is a name like Eric Guo or something like that.
Yeah.
He said some stuff about this guy that he kind of liked. Apparently, coming into the F sharp minor Polonaise, it took him a little bit to, he said, kind of find his settling in the.
See, this would have been the second round.
Yeah, and F sharp minor Polonaise is one of the most densely difficult pieces I think I ever played. It's exceptional in the
absolutely.
in the Polonaises. Yeah. It's a booger, and the thing that makes it not just on the first pages because you got the that left-hand cello stuff that I'll often do, but at super race car speed, you know, and things like that. There's this mazurka thing in unison, right? Well, octave apart. Bum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, bum, 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 da-da-dum,
it's a march. Basically. What do you do?
When I first learned it, I was still kind of young. I think I was sophomore in college, I think is when I first played it. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand how to shape it. And I still find it a somewhat problematic
it's still
passage.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you depend on harmonic conflict to resolution, or because it's not really a melody, but there is some kind of shape and flow in it.
Yeah.
And in a way, its ambiguity allows for possibility of different interpretations, which is interesting. But anyway, he said that this guy finally actually kind of he felt was settled in by the time he got to the midsection, and then went on from there, and he thought he did lovely things with it. I think he's the one that he said that the guy has experience playing historic instruments. So playing on Chopin pianos. There's stuff you can hear. Oh, very good. I forget the guy's name, but I'll put it up on the screen. I have his channel saved. He's a piano rebuilder kind of guy and has a museum collection. And he has a Japanese lady friend, or I don't know who she is, but she often plays them in the show that he does. But he features different instruments. Yeah. But we all know that we don't, but you should know that Chopin loved the play-out pianos.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And they're interesting because they had not so deep a mechanism, so they're a little bit more, you can play a lot of sound on the surface of the piano. And they used these older-fashioned dampers, which was similar to what the Viennese called Hebeldämpfer, that they kind of sat on top, and then they had a mechanism which just kind of pushed them down with a kind of spring against the keys. But they weren't like the contemporary hammers now, which are held down by a piece of steel that goes down and settles in the base of the whole damper mechanism, which really holds them tight. So, for example, when I played Horowitz's piano at that concert years ago here in Columbus, it was his 501 or 503, I think it was, his Steinway Grant that they were sending around for the second time. What was amazing, really, I mean, there's a lot of incredible things going on, but what was noticeable were the dampers were as tight as, snake, water moccasin with its jaws around, so when I played a Bach, the Marcello transcription of Bach, it was like playing a harpsichord. It was so quick and dry that it was amazing. But then the damper pedal was set so that pretty much by halfway down, you had them all off the key. But maybe not exactly like that, but you didn't need to floor it.
No, you don't.
Because at least a half to 2/3 down, you had them up. which means that it was all right there, and immediately you touch that pedal and you're screwing with the dampers. It was super. It was like a sports car.
Yeah.
And it was really amazing. Plus the bloom on the strings and stuff. That piano was incredible. I actually had 3 days to practice on it before I had to do the concert. So I went and tried things. By the time I did the concert and I had a recording of it, I wasn't trying to imitate the man. But I often thought after I played that piano. Now he worked with Steinway to make it the way he wanted it, right? Yeah. So since he created the voicing, Franz Moore, since he dictated the creation of how he wanted this piano to play, it was his aesthetic probably that drove it. So
it was actually Franz Moore who found the piano for him.
Really?
Yeah. He called him up. He says he was working at the Steinway factory, and he was checking out pianos, keeping them maintained, and then he just ran into this Steinway and called up Horowitz. He says, Maestro, he says, we have a Steinway piano here that it's absolutely you. And he says, you must come and try it. And sure enough, it was this one.
The bloom, do you know what this means, people?
Yeah.
The bloom is when you play the note.
Yeah.
And you get the initial fundamental strike, ding,
yeah. Ding.
And then you get the overtones that ring. Now on good pianos, you get foundation and then the good 2 blooms, right?
Yeah.
This was minimum of 3.
3. Yeah.
It would you boom and then and then the second was almost the same dynamic. And then it would start to taper off. That's like a singer singing this beautiful note and you grab her by the throat. No, you gotta go on.
Yeah.
Or do you want to let her sing that gorgeous note and let it play itself out?
Yeah, exactly.
And I found myself, of course, responding to it and working with it. And my playing started to have those Horowitzian affectations of waiting on the line or doing a rubato where you have this beautiful note that just sings and then continue. And I think there's an aesthetic consideration. You just don't want to cut something that beautiful off so quickly. So that there's some stuff in there. And I told people, I said, no, I'm not imitating Horowitz. The piano made me want to play that way. You know, when I played the Chopin list transcription thing. Because the note would hang there kind of like a great opera singer who would just like sing.
Yeah, you don't want to cut off
the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
The Bugs Bunny holds him longer than he can possibly get through in the face. But
so and all sorts of colors.
Well, so the point is this guy was writing about some of these people who have had experience with historic performance practice, especially this Eric Gold guy apparently. I don't know if it was him or it was the next guy he talked about. Maybe it wasn't there, but he wrote a big long paragraph and he was saying that this guy played the whole set of preludes and he was really taken with the colors that he got out of the modern instrument and the more, not boring, but just somewhat more restrained, maybe smaller envelope of things and a more way of playing it so that the instrument was allowed to create the stuff rather than dictated. So what I was going to ask you, the basic question was, is if you're listening to this stuff. Because somebody mentioned like, it may have been this kind of pianist, that this may have affected the way he played the Barker roll. Mm-hmm. And what he was doing near the conclusion of it, which he seemed anticlimactic in a way, but he confessed, he says, but then of course, I have Arthur Rubinstein's miraculous interpretation of the Barker roll. It's like that French lady said, well, Horowitz can play everything else in Chopin, but the Barker roll will always be yours, Arthur. And it is a lovely performance. You know? And he was making that comparison. So is the nature of, since it's a Chopin competition and all they are playing is Chopin.
Yeah.
This is not like other companies,
Yeah,
like
it's not like the
Tavern,
Tchaikovskys.
where you can play God
Yeah.
knows what anymore, and then concerti and this and that.
Yeah.
Do they have a concerto round? Do they play the first or
I
second?
believe there's going to
Some
be
of the stuff
I think
like that?
eventually it gets to that.
There's a few
Concerto.
concerted works, you know.
Yeah.
Even the Andante Spionato Great Polonaise is
Yeah.
orchestrated.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
what the people have been doing for solo though.
and now I know it's a little bit of a stupid question because I did hear that Canadian Polish pianist a while back, Lisecki or whatever his name is, who played the F minor concerto.
Oh,
with
that
chamber
guy!
size orchestra.
Yes,
And
Jan.
directed them, Jan Lisecki,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
It was really quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's probably, in terms of the masses that were there and the way that he played.
And he was a young kid.
Yeah. And I don't think Chopin was directing orchestra back
No.
then. But he did. He actually directed it. But it had a totally different nuance and sound than like even the traditional Rubinstein.
Yeah.
So my question is are there more options now in our time and age for a Chopin sound, which I think was pretty much in the later 20th century established by Arthur Rubinstein?
Yeah.
And he also often talked about, he brought a very virile kind of approach to the music. It was his interpretation of the Polish character.
Yeah.
Where if you listen to Friedman, who was the Chopinist before him, and Rubinstein admits that, it was a very different kind of playing.
Oh,
very
yeah.
much so. Where are we now with Chopin? In your, I mean, what are you hearing?
Okay.
Is it this massive heroic stuff, or
no?
more variety?
Contrarily, I think it's becoming more lyrical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of the I've heard. Let's see. The ballade in particular. It's not as stormy. You don't hear the stormy. I think they pulled back on that because I've noticed a couple of ballade number 2s already, and they're both very, I mean, not very heavy-handed, and they put this, and I noticed in a lot of recordings that I've listened to, from past pianists, there's too much attention to that, and not enough on the left hand. And I've noticed that there's much better balance today in this competition than the older pianists. The balance is much different, and I noticed also the treatment of inner voices as well. It's taken almost more of a presence rather than just letting the right hand, top soprano taking more, front stage. But let's see. Otherwise, no. I mean, every once in a while, there's 2 or 3 pianists that I notice. I can't help notice that I think they've been listening to too many recordings. Okay, and because I hear things like, all right, much less to say, sort of I mean, I don't want to say that they sound sort of generic, but it sounds used up. I've heard it before, particularly in the etudes. The only thing spectacular about some of the etudes was some of them have been trying to outspeed some of the ones from the other competitions. Now, I did hear an A minor, the chromatic A minor etude, where they actually slowed the pace down at the end of the phrase and then speed it up again when it goes up, and then coming back down, they relaxed the tempo a little bit at the end of the phrase. That was good. I mean, I've heard a couple of them do that. They had a couple of them that had a different idea. Instead of slowing down, they sort of slowed down in the middle and then sort of crescendoed at the end. Because it was sort of, that's kind of new to me.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
You could say if you don't want to answer it.
All right.
But based upon what you would say, now, I think Yun Chan Lim and the way he plays has had a huge impact on the world.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's not just him, but his teacher.
Yeah.
That fortunately moved to Boston. They're both in Boston. He's actually studying at the New England Conservatory with his Korean teacher. But then there was another Korean guy who won a competition in Australia. Mm-hmm. And they said, I didn't hear him, but the writing about him was this extraordinarily lighter, poetic playing. I'm decidedly not a fan of a very famous Chinese pianist.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I think so.
I'm wondering, with the Chinese pianists, because I lived in Japan and I heard Japanese pianists, and some of them studied with especially my master's teacher, Howard. And there's some Koreans as well, but the Japanese, of course, not all the time. Sometimes they can be very rubber stampy about an idea of what Western music sounds like. But yet, the Japanese have a very cultivated ear, a very cultivated sense about aesthetics and things like that. And clearly, I think that the Koreans have a similar kind of orientation. What I'm getting at is due to the communist ideology in China, the kind of competition I think that would be there, at least I know historically, was there. Is there an overriding performance and not historic, but say performance or aesthetic understanding of the way things should go, that you find that kind of continuity in interpretation of performance more the same as opposed to a lot of individuality in the Chinese pianists? I just wonder, because I'm just looking at it from a cultural point of view and how they interpret things from outside their culture. Because we know, I mean, Yun Chan Lim has blown the world away in terms of his ability. And as I said, I haven't heard a ton, but what I have heard reminds me of what I love about Ignaz Friedman, for example. That kind of playing. And then Japanese, you get some stuff. But have you noticed anything, or you wouldn't want to speak to that? But you know what I'm asking.
Yeah, I know what you're asking.
Because, I mean, the one guy that I don't like, who's still active, I always thought, like you said, you know, the ones that try to outrun each other in the etudes. I always thought that was that kind of idiotic idea about kind of almost like Middle America's uninformed understanding of what Western concert music is about. You know, the faster the better, like the jigger race cars and all of that. And I think about how much that attitude must have informed the D minor Brahms concerto for recording when he did it with Bruno Walter and the Paris Orchestra. This is an abomination in the fugue, what happens. It's just... And he did it to Bruno Walter, for God's sake. And it's Brahms. It's not Russian music, it's Brahms. You know what I mean? And this one particular pianist is famous for playing certain kinds of repertoire, and I've seen some performances. I said something recently about him. I don't mention it because we don't really want to blackball people, but the difference between him and Liberace. Liberace somehow did it with taste.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he can do, you know, this flamboyant kind of stuff, you know, which is, you know. But there's something there. And I think, you know, he may become a little bit more, I don't know, tongue hanging out a little bit at the Las Vegas concerts.
Yeah.
But earlier on in his career, that boy could play the piano better, just as good as any classical pianist. But this guy takes it to a circus-like extreme, you know, that just...
Yeah.
So, did the Chinese artists feel free to
Well,
play to be different? Because what are they looking for? They're hoping, they're going to win this for the country, for the nation, and then maybe get a professorship out of it, kind of thing. Or because these people don't necessarily have the freedom to just come and go and travel internationally.
no, they don't.
The way most of the rest of the world does.
No.
So,
Well, okay. From what I see, I think it has a lot to do. I think it has a lot to do with who they have as professors over there. I feel that the professors, they have Russian professors there, and they have Chinese professors there who studied with Russians. Okay, and so the Russians basically started a whole new tradition over there, and combined that with the Chinese culture of being disciplined, and their level of focus, and they have something there now. And not just in the music world, but think about their culture. Their traditional culture. What are we talking about? We're talking things like the way their martial arts. They have a tradition in that. Very disciplined, very structured, very strict. It's this way, or you get your ass kicked.
right.
Right? So, pride. One school's better than another. It's competitive. Okay, this line of thought and this line of thought. Things like that. And it even happened here in the States. We had Russian teachers here before, right?
Yeah.
And we have many pianists who studied with those Russian teachers who have continued that tradition, right? What happened in the United States? Well, personally, I think, all right, put it in words of what Yehudi Menuhin said. He says that in the efforts to raise and develop a well-rounded child, Americans have managed to create a jack of all trades but a master of none.
Mm-hmm.
That's out of Menuhin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's no. From what I remember, in China, these kids are constantly being tested. Are they good at this? Are they good at that? And it's in everything, not just music, but ballet, sports. And they cultivate that particular skill well into their, age where they can actually compete and represent their country.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's what I see. Now, don't say that I'm right about this, okay? That's just my thoughts. Okay?
Well, when you mentioned the martial arts,
that's a level of discipline.
I was fascinated for a long time with Aikido. As I learned about Morihei Ueshiba, O-sensei.
Yeah.
And I was very serious about looking into studying it because there's a guy who had a dojo in Madison, Wisconsin, taught a black fellow who taught Aikido. I went to meet him, talked to him about it. He explained to me how you start and do things. There's a lot of wrist locks and falling and all that you have to learn how to do. Yeah. I was in pretty good shape back then. No, I was very good shape, actually. Not as big as I am now. But I went and told my teacher, I said, I've been thinking about, for health and discipline and all that.
Yeah.
And Howard's eyebrows went up when I mentioned the wrist lock stuff.
Oh!
And he said, maybe look into that some more.
Yeah.
And Howard, back in those days, very influenced by my teachers.
Yeah.
He didn't say no, but just because he didn't go, oh, that sounds really great, copy on the back, and just go for it. I never did it. But what I was interested in, because I studied him a lot and watched the videos and things like that. The Japanese have a tradition, which is interesting. They have two things. One, there's a saying: the nail that sticks up
gets
the first hammer to get hammered down.
Yeah.
But when you leave your teacher's dojo, when you are graduated, when you are almost like in the Kung Fu movie, where he had to pick up the sizzling vessel to imprint the stuff in his wrist and bring it into the thing and set it down.
Yeah, that was the only way to get the door open.
That was the only way to get it open. That's he was doing what do you call it? Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
They called the show that, right?
Yeah.
Kung Fu. That's a really cool series. You should look into it. It's very weird because he's a master Kung Fu guy from China who comes in with the Chinese immigration through the West. And then he travels through the West, you know, kicks cowboy butt. But in Japan, then, once you...
The old series, by the way.
Yeah.
The old, not the new one.
No.
Okay. The new one.
Yeah, the old one with David Carradine when he was young.
Yeah, because you know what happens in the later series? He finds his son in the big city in San Francisco.
Oh, I did see that.
And he's a cop.
He's
a cop!
Yeah. Yeah, that's all bogus.
Oh.
That's about the time that he finally died, right?
It's about
Wasn't
that
they
time.
working on that show and then he...
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I'm sorry? You know,
something like that.
People's...
Maybe we should talk about that.
We shouldn't talk about that because it was controversial.
Yeah.
It was.
But what I was going to say is that traditionally in Japan, once you come out of the dojo, and this is also true, for example, in establishing a new Buddhist school or something like that. If you study with a Buddhist master and you finally are allowed to leave and go out into the world on your own, you are supposed to figure something new out and do it. It's very interesting. It's equivalent to the original idea, and still I think the standing idea of getting a doctorate in the West. The doctor has to contribute something new. That's what the dissertation is about. Something that's different, that introduces another little piece into the chink of intellectual armor that human beings have come up with. And in Japan, that's what you're supposed to do. It's interesting because they almost like, you have to toe the line all the way through. Make sure. It's almost like Martha Graham said, learn all the rules before you begin to break them.
Exactly.
Right? But then once you reach that point, then it's your obligation to do so. Because why would they come and study with you if they could study with your teacher? You have to have something different, something new to show. So I just wonder if, I mean, one knows, I mean, the greatest, come on, really, the greatest piano tradition in the history of piano playing probably came out of Russia.
Perhaps,
You know, extraordinary preparation of playing and a
history
of incredible.
Don't forget to look for the underbelly of the piece.
Of course, there were various schools that also...
Because I tell you, I think the Hungarians could give them the run for their money.
Right, Central Europeans, Hungarians, and then at one time, in the 19th century, I think the French school had a very unique and different kind of way of playing. I think the one that was embraced in the 20th century, more or less, because of certain artists, I think America probably had a combination of some Central European background, and then the Russians came in and showed us what you can really do. And that kind of affected, we being the kind of new empire of the world, I don't know how long it's going to last, but what we liked, what we loved and everything, that became kind of the, that settled to the top of the green, right? But I just, it'd be interesting, you know, to see if, now, but that lady that got booted out of the Van Cliburn early, was she Taiwanese?
I think so. I know who you're talking about.
Margaret.
I can't remember her
or something. Like
I can't remember her name. That's a comedian.
Okay.
But I know who you're talking about. It's the one that. It's the one. She's the one who played the Franck.
Yeah, I saw her performance. On a video. Bach, actually. She
played some Bach.
It was really quite interesting. Nicely done, I thought. just the way she shaped and played, and she brought a certain kind of innate joy to the music making.
Yeah.
And some people were really, and even this guy in the gramophone
Yeah.
mentioned her
Yeah.
in writing about the Chopin competition, like the great disappointment when they cut
her out
of the competition.
Yeah. Ben Loudy's
many people
another one
thought.
too. Ben Loudy from
the same thing?
yeah, Tone Bass.
It's good because like what's his name, Pogorelich. His career developed. Probably we wouldn't have known about him if it hadn't been for the fact that Martha Argerich stood up when he got eliminated early on and walked off the jury and refused to come back.
Yeah.
And that was what propelled him into the international limelight, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, he was also an extraordinary pianist.
Yeah. But you have to admit, if you listen to some of those older, his earlier recordings of his, and the Chopin, particularly his first Chopin album from Deutsche Grammophon, his playing was really different.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
So, actuating certain notes, the agogics.
It was very...
It was...
I mean, that is true early on, and I think that's probably what they didn't like at the Chopin.
Yeah, I mean, it was very different.
This is not necessarily known everywhere in the world, but I've traveled through Poland, and Arthur Rubinstein talks about it in his book and so forth. In traditional Polish culture, there's gentility.
Mm-hmm.
In the actually, you said even in the lower classes, but in the middle and upper class, there's a great aristocratic sense about behavior, public, and he talked about how the people were dressed. When I took the trains, I was actually not staying in Poland, but I went through Poland 2 or 3 times, and I was surprised because you have to stop at certain stations as you go through the country. Mm-hmm. The people were kind of well dressed. Yeah. On the train.
Yep.
And they weren't traveling outside the country. They went from one place, maybe 2 hours away to, I forget what it's called, Lvov, or in the southern part of the country. And they were quiet, even when they talked with one another and everything. Not so rambunctious. I mean, the Russian trains were... yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Yeah. God love them. They love to eat, and I got invited to come into the staff's quarters for dinner every night that I was on a Russian train. Wow! Because they didn't get much chance to meet an American, and I was on my own, and they invited me to come in, and I had vodka and soup and bread and various things that they all brought on. Yeah, but the Poles, and then Rubinstein talks about this. He felt that what he was representing in Chopin's playing was a nobleness about the Polish spirit, which I think probably in his life experience, he was born, 1887, something like that, 89. Poland was not established as a modern, singular state until after the First World War. Because they did a whole bunch of remapping and stuff, and they made it a state, and the first president was Paderewski. He was the very first president of Poland, of contemporary Poland. Yeah. Of course, what they remember is going back a few centuries. Polish kingdom was something to deal with. I mean, there were famous battles between the Swedes and the Poles up in the northern part of Europe that were infamous. Battles and things like that. The Poles carried some weight. Yeah. But I don't know, it was sometime when they were devastated, when they were kind of cut down. And then when Rubinstein was born, he talks about this in his book because he had all these visa problems, passport visa problems. I don't remember which one he was in, but there was the Russian part, and there was the German part. And there was the Austrian, or what do you call them? The Austrian Empire. Yeah. And they controlled different chunks of it. I don't remember where he was in the scope of things. No, I think he was in the Austrian part because he's from down in, what's his? Łódź.
Łódź.
Yeah. I hope I'm not getting too off topic. But he was very proud of being a Pole. I remember when he's interviewed later in life, very proud Pole and a proud Jew.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he remembers, and you read his autobiography. He remembers the attacks by the Cossacks on the streets in the Jewish neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They came in with their swords and started killing people in the streets.
If you ever get a chance, check out the documentary on YouTube where he visits Poland.
Yes, I've seen that.
You saw that?
Really wonderful show.
Yeah, that scene where he's visiting Auschwitz.
Yeah.
And he just looks at it, and you can see it on his face. He's thinking about all the
He lost his whole family.
atrocities of mankind, and
he
just turns around. Just turns around and just walks off by himself.
Yeah.
It was just.
I mean, came from a very happy Jewish family.
Oh yeah.
They're business people and very middle level, lower class up to not upper class, but reasonably well to do people in the extended family. And as he talks about, there was none of them left, right? Did he say that?
I don't think
there might have been a few cousins that he finally discovered.
Well, he lost his favorite cousin. It was a young girl, and she was just a couple of years younger than he was, and she died of scarlet fever.
Yeah, in the camp. Right?
Yeah. Well, no,
maybe
not the camp.
She died
it was before that. So,
can you imagine that? As he talks about that, especially in the second volume. That's the reason why he refused to play in Germany after the war. But he talks about, he knew that when he played in the Netherlands, he knew, because people talked about it, that there were Germans that came over from across the border into the Netherlands to hear his concerts, because they wanted to hear him play. And it's an interesting decision on his part, because he was very interesting. I mean, he was not the typical Polish pianist, which may also explain why he played Chopin differently, perhaps. Because when he was a little boy, his mom took him on the advice of teachers to Berlin, and he studied with Heinrich Barth, who was Wilhelm Kempf's teacher. Barth was one of those serious, old-school 19th century German teachers.
He's a German teacher.
And Rubinstein talks about in the first book how he would just play the exercises ad nauseum. Then he would have a book that he was reading while he was just going through his finger exercises, and
he had chocolate.
And chocolate.
And nuts on the other.
Chocolate, and then he would just have he loved white chocolate truffles from Lynn eventually. Yeah. But so he spent a lot of time. As you know, in that early 20th century, Berlin was the place to do music. Yeah. Even from the time of Busoni all the way through. Yeah. Busoni's from an Italian father, but he's thought very much of artistically as a Germanic musician. Yeah.
Even his music is very Germanic.
Well, anyway, so we just having some talking fun, but Rubinstein, I love his stuff, and I have the whole 60s era collection, most everything of his LPs. Yeah. That period. Now, of course, I got the monster box of RCA's complete Rubinstein, everything books on CDs and all that. Books. But it's interesting to me that I didn't know Friedman until much later, and then when I heard him, because I'd read about him, but then I thought, my God, that's a totally different world from Rubinstein. Oh, yeah. And I love Rubinstein's playing. Yeah. It's very persuasive and very right, but it's in my head, my ear, because he was really my role model. But
I think he was everybody's. You were a pianist.
Well, I'm enjoying the talk, but you want
I love the talking. No, that's wonderful. Okay. I've often wondered if Rubinstein had sort of this love-hate relationship with his German training this way. Because I remember in particular in an excerpt in his book, he says, "To hell with the Germans and their exact fingers of playing." He says, "It's temperament. I'm Polish, and temperament is something that he felt was the most important in playing was temperament."
I also have some CDs of his Chopin recordings that he made in Italy in the 1930s. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's very... Well, you heard this stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I've heard of all.
In the 60s, You understand, when he was recording in the 60s, he was in his 70s.
Yeah.
But, you know, the man lived forever, right?
Oh, yeah. He was around for
So he still had a good 20 years to go.
Uh-huh.
And his playing has there's just a older man's wisdom,
Yeah.
but not boring and not, you know, sedated at all.
Yeah.
It's really vital playing, incredibly wonderful playing. But in the 30s, when he talks about, before Horowitz showed up in Paris and everything, made everybody practice.
Yeah.
Some viscerally exciting performances and some wild tempi.
Yeah.
Sometimes in some of the stuff that he plays.
Oh, yeah.
And missed notes.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
In the final recordings.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's a little bit on the reckless side sometimes, but there's still, I mean, the training was there.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, everything's
Absolutely.
good. But you figure that these were made mid-30s anyway, so he was in his mid-40s at that time. So I don't know. It would be interesting. There are no ancient recordings of Rubinstein to know what he sounded like.
Well,
I mean, are there?
There's
before World War I.
There's excerpts. There's excerpts. There's one particular video. I don't know whether he had a cameraman following him back then, but it's a black and white video, and he walks into a piano store, and he's just this, you know, he's just with friends and talking, you know, and there's a piano right there. They want him to try out, and so he sits down, and what does he play? He plays the first Chopin Etude. And it's like the first page or two, and it's amazing. It's astonishing. He comes down on that sucker and goes up, boom, boom. It's almost like he actually followed the metronome to Marc.
Wow.
It's amazing. And it's just,
he had
and
big
it's
hands.
Yeah,
that's always prevented me from playing that one.
Yeah.
Because it's a damn tenth.
Yeah, it is.
I can't do that. I mean, I won't put my wrist and my hand through that.
But anyways, it was, I mean, he says he felt like he was not technically proficient to play the Chopin etudes. He always felt that way. But here's this black and white video, this black and white video of him going, boom, the first one, and he just, boom, and he's off to the races.
I thought it was interesting that, you know, in all
the sweep,
his commercial recordings, some of the more off in the background kind of Chopin complete repertoire stuff, he didn't record that stuff. I don't know if he even played it. But
now
like, for example, there's the Tarantella, the Bolero, and things like that are there. There's that one album where he almost does that one book I have, where he's got the Fantasy, the Bolero, the Tarantella, some other stuff like that. Berceuse and the Bark World. There's other pieces of Chopin.
Oh, he did record commercially the Novelle etudes. So
yes,
he did have that.
And yet, in that concert when he went to Russia, and played. There's 6 etudes on there.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So you know that shit out of them. There are amazing performances. Now, of course, some of the Chopin etudes, like I would say in my case, too. I don't do all the Opus 10s. I can't play some of them. I like that number 2, that little spider running around thing. But there's certain ones that are more approachable. And I think Opus 25 overall is more approachable than Opus 10. So I played all of Opus 25. And some of the Opus 10 ones. But so some Chopin is more available in some ways than others. But get on YouTube and look up Rubinstein's performance in Russia. And the whole thing, it's all Chopin. All Chopin. But then he plays 6 etudes. And they're not like encores or anything. It's part of the program. You know? And it's amazing. It's Rubinstein playing.
Oh,
you know? And this is in the early 60s when he was doing the big things, like he did this series of, how many recitals? 14 solo recitals. And then 7 concerto concerts in New York in a relatively short period of time. He played like 16 different concerti and more than 100 different solo pieces or something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a couple albums. Well, there's one particular album, Rubinstein at Carnegie Hall, where they released certain things, but it tended to be the early 20th century stuff.
I mean, there's even video.
Use the restroom.
There's a YouTube video of him performing even Petrushka, which he thought was never, you know.
Isn't it dedicated to him?
Yeah, it is dedicated to him. He's done pieces that.
I'll be right back.
Many. I mean,
Keep
there's.
talking to
Yeah, he has not only that, but he also has the Root Poema by Villalobos, which was dedicated to him. And not many people know about this, but Szymanowski was really high on his, like list. It was according to David DeBall, he did visit Rubinstein at his house once, or his home, and for a whole half hour, he played all this Szymanowski repertoire that he never recorded. At least enough Szymanowski, as David DeBall puts it, to make your head spin. So he was a strong advocate. Anyways, we didn't get around to it. But anyways, I did bring some stuff along. Okay, so anyways, there's one recording I actually wanted to share with the folks. I don't know. Maybe should I wait for him when he gets back? What do you boys think? No comment? No comment at all? Boy, you figured that after doing so many of these episodes of PSI, you think some of Mark and I would have rubbed off on these three. Maybe just a little bit. Well, no, I didn't think so. Well, Igor, you should. I mean, your uncle Dmitri. Uncle? I don't remember anymore. But anyways. I'll tell you what, I'll just do this on the whim. I wanted to introduce, PSI. We tell you what we read, what we've been listening to, what we've been, what we've been playing. I did bring this CD along with me, this one particular. I found this at a thrift store, so this easily could probably well be, High Plains Thrifter.
Oh.
So.
Did you already introduce it, or you're gonna?
Okay, High Plains. All right. Well, I was going to, but
this is
all right.
This is one where we get to wear hats.
Yeah, we can do this.
All right.
Okay, High Plains Thrifter, folks. Welcome to Okay. Well, welcome to High Plains Thrifter, folks.
Did you like a hat with them?
Oh, it was beautiful, guys. Wonderful. Anyways, a couple months ago, Kathy and I went to our thrift store, one of our usual ones. She had the itch. Huh?
We say usual. Where did you go?
This one's at.
You want to betray that secret?
No, I can't. I can tell you, it's St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent de Paul.
I think so. Yeah, it's a thrift store. They have down south near. Is it near Bexley?
Really?
Yeah, it's just way out there.
It makes sense because some of the stuff you pick up, it's like good cultural stuff.
Yeah,
so you got to be around people that have that stuff.
Oh yeah, so
Bexley's a really nice neighborhood.
Here, just to show you how I could be mistaken about this.
Uh-oh.
Who is this? Can you tell who this is? I won't show you the name, but who is that? Can you tell?
Yeah, he does look really familiar.
Does he look like?
I can't tell for
Shostakovich?
that. No,
could it be
Shostakovich?
No, he doesn't. No, it's not Shostakovich. Yeah. But I thought I saw this picture, folks. Okay, let me show it to you.
He's got the glasses.
Well, he's got glasses.
Has he?
Oh no, he doesn't have glasses.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah.
Here it is. Okay. Actually, this pianist
Did you have your glasses on when you bought it?
I had my glasses, yes. This is actually Morten Gunnar Larsson.
Don't know who he is.
There he is. This is the CD I picked up, and I was intrigued by it. I'm sorry?
I say good for him.
Yeah.
Morten Gunnar Johansson.
Yes, this is a concert recording. Ooh. So apparently it's live. I don't know what this word is. Sorgen-free?
Yeah, sorgenfrei. That
What's
means free of care.
Free of care.
Yeah, except that's not German.
It's not.
That's the Scandinavian language, so it's
Okay.
probably Danish, Norwegian, or
Okay,
Swedish.
well, he is Norwegian. So,
Oh, it's Norwegian.
yeah, so.
Sorgenfrei would mean sorgenfrei auf Deutsch. Means free of concerns or care.
Really? That's kind of cool. I like the fact that they titled the album.
Yeah.
I think classical music should do the same.
Well, we had a conversation about that a way back. Remember
Yeah.
Helen Grimaud? Isn't she the one that was doing one that was called Water? And then she did.
Oh, no, that's somebody else. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's Carl Rosenberg.
Yeah.
So,
Now that's this new kind of stuff. I like the old ones where it has the Chopin, it has the composer's name, pieces, and if you're important enough, your performer's name at the bottom somewhere.
I don't know. I mean, from a marketing point of view,
Yeah.
I think it would look more attractive. But anyways, here. He has here music by Joplin, Morton, Weil, Grieg, Blake, Lamb, Morat, and Roberts. Let me tell you who this guy is.
You
Okay?
Blake?
Huh?
You
Blake? Yeah.
So it's jazzy
So,
stuff.
yeah. Morten Gunnar Larsen studied classical piano at the Norwegian Academy of Music. His accomplishments: founder of the Ophelia Ragtime Orchestra in '77. He was a student of U.B. Blake. He's a traveling concert pianist. He is currently performs with singer Karin Krog and clarinetist Georg Reiss, R-E-I-S-S.
Mhm.
And I wanted to bring this CD to your attention, folks, because he's an improviser in the style of ragtime, jazz, probably much closer towards ragtime than anything else. But nevertheless, a wonderful improviser. And you can tell from his playing that he does have a classical upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
It's such clean playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well poised. It's not bombastic.
Mm-hmm.
But this CD contains some of the best ragtime playing I have ever heard as far as piano goes. One of the best. There's not much written about him. I haven't been able to find anything. But check him out. Morten Gunnar Larsen.
Does everything he play is improvised? Because of the waltz and C-sharp minor?
Yes.
Does he play it straight? Or
He plays it straight for a few measures, and then he moves it
Takes
into basically he just plays a few measures of it just to show you that it's Chopin waltz and C-sharp minor, and then he goes to town.
This is the place that produced this is from Trondheim, Norway, which is near Greek's stomping grounds.
And what he plays here by Grieg, he plays the Anitra's dance from the Pyrgin Suite. So, and once again,
There it
it's
is.
just a few measures of
Anitra's.
Anitra's dance, and then he just starts going to town with it.
Wow, that'd be cool.
But it's fun playing. I mean, I was intrigued. Now, if some of you know me already well enough that to sit and listen to an entire CD does not happen very often. I do that with Velodos. Velodos, if I get a brand new CD that's come out by Velodos, I'll be excited and I want to know what he's doing, and it has my 100% full attention, undivided. Stick that CD on the player, and I will listen to the entire CD for a whole hour and a half.
Mhm.
I did the same with this.
Yeah.
It was very intriguing.
Wow. Did you show it to him yet?
I think so, a little bit of it at least, but I like the front cover. It's quite intriguing as well.
And the notes inside are all written by him, the pianist. He
Oh,
says,
yeah.
I.
And look at all these. Look at the notes.
program notes. This is all program notes right there. All this here. Wow, that's a lot. And I like the fact that he included an arrangement of a song by Kurt Weill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite pretty too.
Nice.
Now, what else did I bring? Now, what I brought here, we talk about this person every once in a while. And he's one of my favorite pianists. I brought in CDs recorded by Valery Kuleshov.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned him.
Yeah.
He's the guy you listened to up in Delaware. Did a concert.
Yeah, he did a concert in Delaware. That was years ago. I think if you watched our last episode from a couple of weeks, I talked about his program, and it was a very brilliant program.
Yeah.
Anyways, here, I'll show you the CDs. This is, first one is Virtuoso Transcriptions. These are, let's see, transcriptions of the Boris Godunov opera by Mussorgsky. There's also an arrangement of Night on Bald Mountain.
Are these his own?
No, these are not.
Oh.
It's interesting. The Boris Godunov and the Night on Bald Mountain arrangements were done by another composer, Igor Kudoli, who was born in 1940, died in 2001. And they are brilliant concert arrangements. Now, you would think, writing a transcription of a Night on Bald Mountain, and my biggest pet peeve with people who transcribe pieces, you have to arrange the piece in terms of the instrument. Okay, it can't. I mean, people who take the time to so-called transcribe these things. I mean, I'm happy that you took the time to transcribe them, but you need to learn the difference between a transcription and doing a piano reduction. And oftentimes when I go to the music store and I see a score that says transcription or transcribe, I'll get excited about it at first until I look at the score and it winds up being more of a piano reduction.
Now
there's a place for piano reductions. Okay, there's a place for it. Okay.
Wagner's music.
What about
I have some stuff that's both Stefan Mikish's transcription of some stuff, but then I also have can't remember the guy's name, but I'll put it out.
Yeah.
But it's from Siegfried.
Yeah.
A couple aspects of Siegfried, and I would say fundamentally it's a reduction, but taking a Wagner score and turning it into something you can play on the piano is a remarkable feat, period.
Yeah, it is a remarkable feat, period.
So,
but
there's
a way to
difference
do it.
because
There's a way to do it.
Listed transcriptions.
Yeah.
And then there were some other people like Carl Clintworth who did some extraordinary, but they're not just reductions.
Yeah.
They're still written in a pianistic way that they've come to. I know what you're talking about. There is a line between, because I played it by right, and some of the stuff that they have are just basically reductions of the score so you can play it on the piano.
Yeah.
These are beyond that.
Okay.
So, because they were meant for sale, for people to buy to be able to play his music. They're not list transcriptions.
No, they're not.
It's different. But go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, here you have actual. Okay. They're very, very well written. Okay, I just have to admit it. Night on Bald Mountain, particularly done by arranged by Igor Kudoli, is quite fascinating because I've seen what the original score looks like, and I have seen piano reductions, and what Kudoli has managed to do is to let the harmony sustain a little bit better than just writing down the actual notes from the score.
At the end, like particularly the end of the work of a Night in Bald Mountain, where the harp comes in. Okay, he actually adds a contrapuntal part where you have the strings going at the beginning. He adds that at the end, along with a harp arpeggio, and it's eerily effective. You just have to listen to it. I think you could actually hear these recordings on YouTube now. Now, I'm happy to see here an arrangement by a young pianist, composer, and arranger and transcriber, Florian Novak, or Nowachik. No, I don't know how you're going to say it, but he's a young guy. He's done a lot of these transcriptions. He's done the Polovtsian dances by Borodin for piano. Yeah, it's beautiful. Very well done. Here he has his arrangement of Romeo and Juliet Overture by Tchaikovsky. Another fine recording of that. Now, I also bring forward here his Homage to Horowitz CD. Let me show you this. It's a beautiful looking CD. See, that's Valery Kuleshov, the younger guy over here. And you all know this guy. Here, this CD was released by BIS, B-I-S. Here you have the Mendelssohn Horowitz Wedding March and Variations. Here you also have Horowitz's own original Waltz in F minor, Horowitz's Dance Eccentrique. So the variations on Bizet's Carmen. I'll have to let you. I'll give you a heads up on that one. He puts a few little additions to it of his own on that one. He has Hungarian Rhapsody number 19, another arrangement of Horowitz's. Liszt's Ballet Doberman, and once again with a few Horowitz touches in it. Mussorgsky's By the Water, song transcription. The Danse Macabre. And here's the original Horowitz Etude Fantasy in E-flat minor. Strangely enough, it has an opus number, opus 4. How's your French? What's lavage?
Lavage?
Yeah, lavage.
Lavage.
2 words. V-A-G-U-E-S.
I don't know.
Okay.
I should know it.
Well, this CD wouldn't be complete without Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever as well. So, oh, by the way, I didn't get to see him play that one. I think he just ended the whole program with Carmen Variations. Okay, over here. If that wasn't enough, here's a...
No, it's not Bog. It's Bog.
Bog?
Bog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bog. Here's another all Liszt CD. On it is the Sonata in B minor, the 6 Paganini Etudes, and the Mephisto Waltz arranged by Busoni. But not just Busoni. He does the Mephisto Waltz with the added Horowitz touches in it as well. So
That's it. Waves. The waves.
the waves. Oh well, it sounds like it too.
The Bog.
The bug. I'm going to show you this one too. This CD was released by VAI. Is that it? And if you're still itching for more, there's always Valery Kuleshov's recordings released from the Van Cliburn competition. It has Christopher Taylor on it as well. At this competition, Valery Kuleshov took 2nd place, silver medal. And on it, he is playing the Paganini Etudes, the Scarlatti Sonata in D minor, Kirkpatrick or Longo
423. Kirkpatrick is 32. It's an aria. And you also have here the prize-winning performance and world premiere recording of Morton Gould's Ghost Waltzes. I think I brought that one here once in a former episode. So, but there you go. That is Valery Kuleshov. I have to admit that after his performance, his competition days as a performer, and he just started just doing straight recitals, I have to admit that his playing has become much more, I don't want to say refined. It is refined playing, but it also has a sort of an organic quality to it. It all sounds so natural, and it looks so natural when he does it. And you could sense some of the Horowitz influences in his playing as well. He must have learned a lot about sound production by having transcribed a lot of the Horowitz's concert arrangements. All of this, the Horowitz arrangements, he did those all by himself. These are his actual notation from the recordings after repeated listenings. It's interesting to note that when he competed in the band clarinet competition, they actually released all requirements of the competition that year, and I think they did that for the next 3 or 4 competitions, and then they brought back the restrictions again. They did, and that's when they started using the Mozart sonata or Mozart concertos to replace the chamber music round. So, but last I heard about Kuleshov, he's a faculty member, artist in residence, I think, either in Arkansas or Kansas or something like that. I don't remember, but it's something like that. They've even, the university's even sanctioned a piano competition after him. So, but he has a few videos on YouTube now. He has a performance at Russia of his pictures and exhibition. It's brilliant. He's also has a performance of the Busoni orchestration of the Spanish Rhapsody for piano and orchestra. I guess it's sort of asked for that, but he's an avid supporter of Busoni's music, apparently. But anyways, he also does some Stravinsky. I guess there's a 3-movement work by Stravinsky that he's done with orchestra as well. There's also a live performance of him doing the Tchaikovsky concerto. I won't mention the orchestra. You could look it up yourself. It's not one of the better performances I've heard of that work. And, well, I'll let you folks look it up if you want to take the time to hear Kuleshov play the Tchaikovsky. The playing is brilliant. But there's something, you can't help but wonder, there's a factor in there that's sort of missing. There's just something missing about it. Well, that's all I have for today. So, there's more stuff here, but I could, we've been at this here for about an hour, nearly almost 2 hours here. So, well, folks,
I hope you enjoyed our program today. I know we got to our High Plains Thrifter a little bit late in the show, but I really enjoyed our conversation about the competition and talking about Arthur Rubinstein, and just different aesthetics. I mean, it's sort of, I felt like this one flowed much better than in later our latest episodes. So, folks, if you liked our show today, please like, comment, and subscribe. We love having you here. We like being here. Come back for more, okay?
We have a Facebook page, too.
Oh, yeah, we do have a Facebook page.
With the same title.
Yes. So, folks, this is
Dr. Mark.
I'm Elmer. And
We are Mark and Elmer's PSI Piano Scene Investigations.
Say bye, guys.
Whee!
Come back.
That's tricky.
Yeah.
He talks like that.
Good for you, Cookie.
See you guys.